So today we're going to talk about the state, just a generalized concept and an entity of a global arena in a global arena. The concept of the state is quite of essential in international relations because it helps us understand how power, authority, and governments work general in the world. A state is not just some sort of territory on a map; it's a structured political entity that has legitimate authority over a population and the ability to act in its behalf. This is why states are treated as the main actors in international politics. First, they make decisions, represent their societies, and take responsibility for their actions in a global stage. Let's just say, as a clear example, in the case of Russia, Russia started the war in Ukraine, but it doesn't mean the whole Russians wanted that war. But in a in a sight of world, all Russians responsible for that war because they elected their president. They're responsible and like clear they're responsible uh, from from his actions. So general um, in international relations, mostly state states are the main actors. So let us switch into another point that is called sovereignty. Sovereignty is something like a core of this idea because inside its borders, a state has the highest authority while externally it considered equal to all the states and protected from some like interference. Because there's no global government above the states, the international system functions in how to say functions in a condition of chaos, of a condition of anarchy. This doesn't yeah, anarchy. But when you hear the word when you hear the word anarchy or chaos, first you think like something unorganized, like something in in a state of chaos. But it's not like constant chaos, but rather a system where states must rely on themselves to protect their interests. This explains this explains why independence, borders, and control over internal affairs remain so important in world politics because uh, you know state is as I said in the previous paragraph, is some sort of key actors, and the like entity is like a society in the world, like like we as a people. We also have our relations with other people, and the state the same, and states also they have relations with other states. So chaos, but the main difference between us people and the states, like we people, we controlled by the states. We have some sort of higher authority above us, and it's states, and it can control us. We can, you know. But if we talk about the states, they don't have some sort of higher authority. They are all of them are independent. So, and that means as a chaos because nobody can control them. And if you look through the history, it was the whole time, and nothing changed. We continue to be led by the like old barbarian uh, principle, like be stronger, and you like if you like the barbarian, like you have to be strong to survive, you know, because if you can protect yourself, you won't be exist in that world. The same we can see in a general in the clear examples around the world. Uh, close East, mm, like Middle East, sorry, Ukrainian war, like between Russia and Ukraine. We can surveil it in a like mm, around the world. No non-system, non-organization can protect your can't protect your but you can protect yourself. So, but we can say that organizations are not useless. So the next paragraph I'm going to talk about diplomacy, like diplomacy between states. As I mentioned, states are like we people. They also have relations between other states, with other states. So, uh, diplomacy. Mm, First, we can say that diplomacy is some sort, like it can be defined in a key parameters as recognizing each other and maintaining diplomatic ties. Um, States are also able to communicate, negotiate, and avoid unnecessary conflict. So it's some sort of politic, as a war we can see as a brutal force. Is like you don't want to think, better for me just to kill somebody and take something that I want. But diplomacy is something of a soft force. It's a soft power. It's when you try to negotiate without brutal force. You don't want it to be harmful for others. You want it to create some sort of relations, diplomatic relations. So to choose the way how you want to deal with other states, as also it is obvious up to the state. But anyway, diplomacy is something also more, because mm, diplomacy, as I said, they they also can. No, I didn't say that one, but I'm trying to lead to that way. So diplomacy allows to the states to manage disagreements and also build. Sorry, something happened with my camera, so it's turned off. So I will continue from a point about diplomacy. Diplomacy allows the state to manage disagreements and build cooperation, and also pursue the long-term goals without using a brutal force, because as I mentioned before about the diplomacy in general, it's some sort of another option for the state to behave in the world area. You can be a brutal, like harmful. You want to just like let's just say, as I said, people and states are very, mm, how to say, they're very similar, but the main difference, like states don't have any higher authority between above them, but people have. How? So I wanted to make some example. Like let's just take two-person. One person is a person one is like brutal, uh, greedy, and just like awful person. So he wanna to take, I don't know, apple from other person. So for him it's easier and like more convenient just to beat that person and take apple. But let's just switch into another person two. The same example about the apple, but he will act absolutely in another way. Like for example, first he trying to negotiate about this apple. Like say, you have a very good apple. I want to take it also. How about just like I'll give you my, like for example, orange, in exchange of an apple. If the person like with the apple don't agree with that, doesn't agree with that, it better also this person will continue to negotiate, or just make some sort of a compromise. Like let's just say I'll take the half on an apple in exchange of a whole mandarin. Yeah, it like in the case if you like if you very need the apple, yeah, they're ready to sacrifice in another thing. So the diplomatic relations are very important, because these things helps to maintain the global peace without any armed conflict. The same we can see through history, for example, about Israel and Gaza. It's yeah. If you look through history of Israel and Palestine, is they also will be the whole time they are in a constant war. But anyway, in 2004, when the Gaza and Israel has some sort of conflicts, Israel and Palestine has had conflicts about the region of Gaza. They Israel tried to negotiate in a sake of maintaining peace. They wanted to you know they deported the whole Israeli citizens from Gaza and gave it to the Palestine government, Palestine state. But after the Gaza uh, was, I don't know, like there was some sort of cope, I don't know how to call it, and Hamas took the reign of the city of Gaza. So yeah, if I look to the general history of the Middle East, uh, it was very rare example of a peace maintaining the situation, because um, mostly it was wars. So general, when I look to that point, it's a very clear example of a diplomacy when a state trying to negotiate in a case, maybe even to sacrifice something in a case of keeping peace. See, in this example, we see that Israeli government sacrificed in a sacrificed their own citizens. They deported all Israelis from Gaza to the controlled Israeli territory. So it is example. This was example of the diplomacy, peace diplomacy. But next point will be, I'm trying to talk about the security, because security is also a very important point to the in a like in a state's existence. States are also responsible for protecting their people and territory. So, which pushes them to focus on a military strength, alliances, and strength balance. As we can see, like Ukraine wanted to join to NATO or European Union. So it's a best example when a state cares about its own safety in the future, in the long-term goals. So, since intention, like let's just say, I wanna just after that point, I wanna like to focus on a strange and general about the security, because uh, security is very complicated thing. Let's just say uh, about the concept of security dilemma. Uh, One state wanted to be protect wanna protect just wanna protect itself, but and want to protect itself, and starts to create more and more powerful army in the sake of protection. But there is another state who absolutely can see that its neighbor started to be more armored, more powerful, and it started to um, started to create some concerns of that state, because you see that you're armored with a you see that your neighbor with a powerful army, and you are not. So you started also to create a more and more powerful army in the sake of concerns that your neighbor will invade you in the future, like it's a preparation for the war. And this neighbor also has neighbors. They are also concerned about situations that their neighbors becoming more and more powerful, and they also started to create their own armies. So, and it's like it's a circle. They like progression. The more and more countries started to create their armies, and eventually it creates tension in the world, where a lot of countries has a lot of powerful armies. And this is like if we talk about examples of that, like the security dilemma, the best will be about the First World War, when a lot of countries, a lot of central powers started to um, maintain and to create their very powerful armies with a great amount of people. So sorry, I don't know what's happening with my camera. Yeah, I don't know why it started to turn it off. But anyway, let's move from the security to our last point about global cooperation. As I mentioned in the previous paragraph about diplomacy, it's not only about the of like wars on and other awful things, but it's also some good, like as a cooperation between states. States are also, as a people, can create some community, as European Union is the best example, or United Nations. So, what a K, what actually this organization do? They deal with the shared challenges such as economic stability, climate change, I don't know, and health crisis around the world. And but also it's not also it's not so equal structure, because around this organization, for example, European Union, they have key actors as a Germany, France, and in a past United Kingdom. And if these key actors disappear, I don't know. I don't think that this organization will last a very long time. So, as I said, we are not equal. We are not equal in, like, in a people society, and the same in the states. Somebody is more powerful. Somebody has more money than you, and general, it's very unfair structures. So, but anyway, mm, overall, so overall, the states continue to be central structure through which international politics is organized. So anyway, even if I say that we are not equal, it doesn't mean that we can't negotiate. So political international politics is organized with the states. States are key actors, as we are people, and they have also their own desires, their own goals, as we are people. So I guess that's all.